Billy Joe Saunders sounding rather uncomfortable and unconfident ahead of the Canelo Alvarez fight. We're going to talk about what he had to say, and I'll give you some of my opinions in this here video. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you guys enjoy content like this, boxing news and updates, where you can get all your boxing information in one stop shop, click the subscribe button, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss a thing. I want you guys to be well informed. This is what I do, cover boxing, and let's talk about it. Cinco de Mayo weekend upcoming fight. Billy Joe Saunders is getting ready to fight Canelo Alvarez May 8th, and it's for a unification. Now, me personally, which we'll get to in the back half of this video, I have reservations about this particular fight. But Billy Joe Saunders did a Zoom meeting, and it was pretty quiet. I don't see many people talking about it, but I did want to make this video. You know, there were rumblings from Rematch Room and Eddie Hearn that this fight has sold 60, 70,000, but it's been pretty quiet for the fight as a whole. But anyway, Billy Joe Saunders did this media obligation. He's in the States and acclimating, I guess, and he's already complaining about the judges and saying that things have been changed and altered from what he agreed to. Let me get to the individual quotes he said so you guys can hear from himself directly, you know, or at least his direct quotes. Billy Joe Saunders says, quote, "I'm looking to get that win as long as it's a fair playing field." So that already makes you raise your eyebrow. I'm looking to get that win as long as it's a fair playing field. And I'm a little bit disappointed because he's already planned events for the Caleb Plant fight. So Billy Joe Saunders is already complaining and pointing out these, I guess, situations, saying that Canelo's already planned his next fight with Caleb Plant, so he's overlooking me. So he's just assuming he gets past me. Saunders continues, says, quote, "I'm here to win. I did this deal based on an English judge, an American judge, and a Mexican judge. And now when I came here the other day, no English judge and English officials allowed." So I'm still not gotten to the bottom of that yet, and I'm waiting to hear back from someone. But that's just not acceptable because straight away it's not a level playing field, is it? Let's be fair. I've been very quiet, but I'm not blind. Let's forget about it. I'll move on. I'll let the full world see what I can do, and then everybody on that night, right? So he's already complaining, saying that he agreed to a particular judge, I guess one being English, and now they're switching it and saying no English judges allowed for whatever reason. He continues by saying, "That's all I could do. I stuck to my end of the deal. I've stuck to the side of the words. First of all, it was no money for the crowds. The next thing you know, there's 70,000. Ooh, listen, it's all right. Yeah, it's good money, but to keep thinking that you keep changing the goalposts because there's money, it's one of them." He says, "I'm a straight man. Canelo's a very good fighter. He's pound for pound the best. Canelo, he's never boxed against a traveling man, and he's boxed against a lot of nationalities, but he's never boxed against a traveling man. I've done everything in my power to be in the best shape so that I could beat this fighter. Come fight night, we'll see how good I am and where I am. The pressure, the fans, this is built to be a great fight. When it comes to people making plans before this plan is over, it's two things. Rather, it's fixed already." So he's saying it's a fix already. He says, rather it's a fixed already, it's a scandal, it's fixed already, and the results are already made. We know in boxing, there's a lot of corruption in boxing. Everyone knows that. So let's just say that the results are fixed and made already for this fight, or it's going to be a fair shake of the dice. I can definitely shatter other plans. We're not here to play a part and go and play a role. I wouldn't be leaving my wife and kids to go pick up a check. Wow. Immediately off the bat, the things that I've said about this particular fight have now been realized. So Eddie Hearn claimed that 40, 70, 80, 100,000 tickets have sold. And right before the fight, you get some more BS. Billy Joe Saunders is saying he agreed to, I guess, a British judge and whoever, American judge and a Mexican judge, and now they've already switched that. So he's starting to look like this is a setup. Now you have Billy Joe Saunders, like they're literally fighting in about 3 weeks, and he's saying it. He's not sounding confident. He's sounding like it's a setup. He's saying, hey, I want to do my part, but I don't know if this is going to be a fair shake of the dice. I don't know if the game's rigged. They're already planning things beyond me. And, you know, just more BS. This to me, this is a bad look. I would be actually angry if I purchased tickets to go to this fight to hear the B-side opponent who's already putting up, you know, kind of roadblocks and excuses almost in the event that he loses. I told you in my previous prediction that I'm picking Canelo. And one of the reasons I said is Canelo is extremely hard, on top of him being a good fighter. So we have to preface that. Canelo Alvarez absolutely is a good fighter with great skill. But in addition to that, you also have what I said was Canelo Alvarez, on top of just being a skilled fighter, he's very hard to beat on the scorecards. You look at his fight with Mayweather. Mayweather schooled him, arguably beat him every single round. Somehow, some way, CJ Ross, the judge for that fight, one of them, had Canelo deserving a draw. And there was no way Canelo won 6 rounds out of 12 against Mayweather. So that judge was later, you know, had to resign because there was so much public backlash. Then the same thing for the Erislandy Lara fight, right? He fought Erislandy Lara. Levi Martinez had a crazy scorecard, 117-11. Same thing with the Golovkin fight. The first fight with Golovkin, Adelaide Bird had a crazy scorecard that the world of boxing couldn't understand, and a lot of people thought Triple G won. It was this 118, you know, 110, 111 type of scorecard, and people like, yo, what fight was you watching, right? So on and so forth. Also, the Amir Khan fight. If you go back and watch that fight, Amir Khan, yes, he was knocked out. Judges and scorecards ultimately didn't matter, but Amir Khan didn't even get credit for the rounds he was doing good, even though in the end it didn't matter because he got knocked out. You would still want to see the judges scoring accordingly. And in that Amir Khan fight, I think it was 2 of the 3 judges had Amir Khan losing, and there was no way he was losing up to the point. I thought he easily won the first 4 rounds against Canelo, and Canelo started slowing him down, and then he caught him with a big shot in round 6. You know, body shots in round 5, I think it was, and then he knocked him out brutally in round 6. But it's still nice to know that the fight is being scored fairly. You know, same thing with the Canelo versus Kovalev. I think at the time of the stoppage, a lot of the judges had it for Canelo. And I'm like, or 2 of the judges or something, or maybe all 3. You guys got to go look back and, you know, do your own research. But for the Kovalev fight, they had Canelo winning, and I thought he was looking pretty poor. He looked a lot slower at 175, etc. So fast forward to the future, this fight, you know, just took a major hit as far as I'm concerned, because this is one of the concerns that I had. And Billy Joe Saunders is, instead of saying things that made him sound uber confident, saying things to repel my prior notion, he actually fed those things, like, and proved to me that this is not paranoia. He sounds like he's already plagued with worry and making excuses for the outcome, saying, oh, they switched the judges on me, and first they said there's no money for the crowd, and now they're saying there's 70,000 sold. So it sounds like, and he's saying, let's say it's rigged and I'm going to try my best, but I don't know. So it sounds like he's already making the excuse. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what type of fight this turns out to be. Definitely an uphill battle for Billy Joe Saunders, because I told you previously, my initial prediction, I'm sticking with that, and I don't really see it changing. I picked Canelo Alvarez to win this fight. I don't really see how Billy Joe Saunders is going to pull the upset, because Canelo has a fan-friendly style. He has beautiful combinations and electric punches that really resonate with judges when he's letting his hands go. So on top of him being a Mexican power puncher, boxer puncher with flashy hand speed and dazzling punches, like when he starts getting off, that's going to look impressive to the judges, you know? And Billy Joe Saunders, to me, I don't think he has the power at 160, and this fight is happening at 168. So he had limited power at 160 and was just more so a good boxer. Like, you look at 160, Golovkin stopped David Lemieux. Billy Joe Saunders outboxed him and was hitting him with shots, but he couldn't stop him. You know what I mean? So if he had limited power at 160, Canelo has more experience at 168 with better names like Caleb Smith and, you know, Kovalev at 175, Chavez Jr. 164.5. I don't really see Billy Joe Saunders hurting Canelo. Canelo is also very disciplined, and he's a student of the game. So you don't really have to worry about Canelo not showing up, like not training and staying in shape. So you're not going to catch Canelo slipping. You're going to have to actually beat him. You know what I mean? And if Billy Joe Saunders cannot hurt Canelo and knock him out or knock him down, then what does that mean? That means he has to outbox him. And now he's revealing this, that he agreed to certain judges and a British judge being on board, and now they've switched it. So it's going to be an uphill battle. He's going to have to outbox Canelo so convincingly when Canelo's supposed to be this, you know, face of boxing and a media darling and things like that. I don't see how Billy Joe Saunders, and you're going to have a crowd there. And according to Eddie Hearn, it sold so many tickets, which we'll see from the Texas official commission reports when those come out and when those are like drudged up. But it's going to be a bunch of Canelo fans. You know, there's a heavy Latino, Hispanic, also Mexican demographic, and just Texans that probably are coming out to see the star Canelo Alvarez. So everything he does, every, you know, big shot he lands or uppercut or left hook to the body or jab is going to have the crowd roaring. So all in all, Billy Joe Saunders does not sound confident at all to me. He's talking about the judges and complaining about the judges, you know? So it sounds like he's setting up his patsy. He's also saying, hey, I've been in shape, so I tried my part. We'll see how good I am and where I am. That doesn't sound confident to me. That's literally his quote. Come fight night, we'll see how good I am and where I am. So this might be a crazy ending to this fight. You know, some weird, you know how Danny Jacobs versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. ended, or some kind of controversial ending, or, you know, just something disastrous. But we'll see, or a pullout, or, you know, I don't really know. I just have this weird feeling about this fight, and Billy Joe Saunders furthered that. And he keeps saying like, oh, he's never fought a traveling man. I mean, Canelo's been fighting since he's 15. It's not like a traveling man has some superhuman power because you're a gypsy traveler. You know, you're going to be against a rabid pro Canelo crowd. Canelo got skills. In my opinion, Canelo got more power, better punch variation and selection. So I don't really see how Billy Joe Saunders wins this one. It's my opinion. It's been my opinion from the jump. You know, we'll see what type of event this turns out to be. But I'm pretty sure I know what it's going to be. And I don't feel more confident, or my opinion is not swaying or wavering with Billy Joe Saunders sounding unconfident like this, complaining about the judge, saying it could be rigged and a setup, and, you know, just belly aching about the whole situation. We will see shortly. Use my link to get TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is an awesome browser extension. I start off at subscribers, over 200,000 now. We've been using it. I've been using it for years. It definitely helps. A lot of features packed into it. I wouldn't recommend it if it wasn't something I have firsthand experience with and know for a fact that it works. So shout out to TubeBuddy. and click the link in the description. You can go to the TubeBuddy link or Linktree. I have a Linktree, and sign up for TubeBuddy. Let me know what you guys think of Billy Joe Saunders. Again, this doesn't make me his comments from his media day. It's so funny because your media day, and when you do these little Zoom calls, that's supposed to, when you're finished watching, it's supposed to make you want to see the fight more. But based on what he's saying, that is basically going to be some BS or potentially rigged, or they're planning other events before he's even got through him. It just lets me know it's probably going to be some BS. Look at the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Canelo fight. Immediately after the fight, they had Triple G in the back, and he walked out, and they announced the next fight. So good luck to Billy Joe Saunders trying to beat Canelo Alvarez, because if they already pre-planned, for the Chavez Jr. victory and had Golovkin announce immediately in the ring after, and Billy Joe Saunders is saying Caleb Plant is already up next, then good luck. And they're switching the judges or whatever, so we'll see how it plays out. It's my thoughts on this video. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Smash the like button. We working. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.